Hello, hello, and welcome to Erica on Air. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come chat with me. Today, I'm chatting with Mary Heather. She's a friend of mine and local to our small little town that I brag on all the time. And Mary Heather is a school teacher. Mm-hmm. My daughter's going to her school this year, and she is a kindergarten teacher. How awesome is that?
I love teaching kindergarten. I taught 6th, 7th, 8th grade math for about 4 years, and I've been teaching kindergarten for about 10. And my heart was always kindergarten and lower grades because I taught at London Bridge Preschool for, a number of years. So the littles were always where my heart was. But I absolutely love teaching kindergarten. I love those kids. Regardless if they're in my class or not, moving on, they're always my kids.
There's no telling how many people had their kindergarten crush with you, girl. They, all boys, they always say they just loved their kindergarten teacher, and I'm sure they adored you because you're like me too. You're a big hugger.
Yes.
You genuinely love people.
And at that age, they need that. They need that confirmation. They need to know that they're safe and secure, and their parents need to know that too. So yes, there's the foundations, those, academic foundations and things like that. But they also need to know that they're safe.
Yep. And that's where they get their confidence.
Yes, absolutely.
I think they gain their confidence through knowing that they're in a secure environment.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's, part of your basic needs too. You need to know your basic needs have to be met before your academic needs are met. Mm-hmm. So that's really important. And typically, students who are in classrooms with teachers who genuinely love their students, and they can feel that they're going to learn more.
Well, because they want to impress you. They want to make you proud.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this year and last year, I had a Grow Your Own student. So a Grow Your Own is something that different colleges do. It's a program that they have to get into. It's a really competitive program, but it's students who are in college that are going to be teachers. They can either grow your own, and so technically they are working in the school system, so they get paid. Mm-hmm. And last year it was Carly Nard, Miss Carly Nard, and I have her again this year too, and I just love her.
That is awesome. So will they do that all 4 years of being a teacher?
Well, so hers was a little unique, and Maddie Gaw is doing the same thing at A.H. Roberts, and there's a few others in the county too. Okay. Ellie White, I think. So they've had 2 years of it.
Okay.
And it's just a wonderful program. It really prepares these girls for the real world.
You learn more with hands-on anyways.
Yes. And it's just... in kindergarten, you really need 2 people in that room.
I bet you do. Mm-hmm. How many students do you have?
This year I have 17, but I've had up to 22 in a classroom, and you don't have an aide. Unless you have, different needs in the room that
if you have a student
that needs it. A special person in there, yes.
Right.
But that person is just for that child or a number of children. So 5-year-olds, sometimes they, need help going to the restroom.
So once you've had one of these students, you're going to want one every year.
Yes. And listen, Carly Nard is wonderful.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome.
She's another teacher in that room, and the kids just love her.
So tell us, Mary Heather, about, I always want to call you by your maiden name. It's just by habit. Okay. You were always this little girl, Mary Heather Maynard, when I was growing up. But now you are Mary Heather Ashburn. How long have you been married?
So we have been married since 2016.
Okay.
So it's been 9 years. Next year will be our 10-year anniversary, so we've got to plan that out. But I'm not a good planner, so we'll see how that goes. But we dated since 2011. So we dated for about 5 years before we were married.
Okay, and Mary Heather's husband is GNCC Champion 2022. Mm-hmm. This is a world I am not familiar with at all, but it's not motocross. What do you really call the type of
So
racing?
You would call it cross country.
Or
I guess hare scramble, I guess sometimes people call that, or woods racing.
Okay, so basically it's going through mountains for miles and miles,
yes.
Right?
Sometimes the tracks are 10 miles and sometimes they're 13, but they'll do loops, and it is 3 hours solid. So their bodies are, I honestly, I don't know how he does it. I see all the training he puts into it. It's a lot of work.
Is it gym training too?
It's
like physical?
Everything. Yes. He has a specific trainer that helps him. So when we first met,
yes,
there wasn't a whole lot of science behind it, I guess.
Okay. He was early to this game.
Yes. So when I first met him, he had just turned pro.
Okay.
And he was racing for Ampro Yamaha at the time. And we've kind of been through every bike, I guess, in every different company,
right.
just because
that's part of it.
It's just what you do.
It's your business
in this world. But now that we've got to where we are, there's a science to it. So you don't eat steak before the race. Like, that's a big no-no. You don't eat steak like 2-3 days before, because that's a red meat. You need something that breaks down quickly, but also gives you, like, you need rice, and sometimes you need maybe some bread or things like that.
Like
things
some
that are quick.
pastas.
Yes, pasta. And then he'll eat like chicken the night before, or chicken and rice the morning of, eggs or pancakes even. I mean, that sounds so silly,
There's
but
so much preparation.
yes. And his trainer does such a good job. He has him, like, there's an app, and he has a certain number that he has to stick with. So, like, his fitness number has to be within this zone. But some guys get too technical with it, and it kind of wears them out, I guess. But he has a certain fitness level, and that comes from cardio, whether it be running or bicycling, and not too much of any of it. Gym workout, because their upper body has to be really strong. His legs are already strong from holding the bike. So and motoing, going out and just riding either the track, and also a lot of skills. So he's got to work on his skills depending on what kind of race is coming up. So in August, I don't know if any of your listeners follow any of the dirt bike realm at all, but there's a race coming up in Dunlap, Tennessee, and it's a big one. It's a worldwide race. It's called Tennessee Knockout, and there's people that come from all over the world, and they are the elites from all over the world that come to this. And
I need to go watch this so that I can, because I've
would
never
love
been
it.
to one. I love trying new stuff. Like, I've got a bucket list.
You
I
would
want to
love
get to a
this.
NASCAR race too. Never been to one of those. Have you been to one of those?
I have not been to one. I want to say that I've been to a track before.
That's on my list, NASCAR race.
We have a race at Talladega, a dirt bike race that's at Talladega, but I didn't get to come to that one. But it's next door to the NASCAR race, and I didn't get to go to that. But I would love to do that.
Yes, me too. So I need to come to a GNCC. Is that what we call it?
GNCC is his typical series. This one in August is called Tennessee Knockout.
Okay.
This is a close one, and it's a lot of fun. It's hot. You'll melt to pieces.
Do you get to see much of the race? Since it's in like the woods and stuff?
Thankfully, I don't. And I say thankfully because it makes me a nervous wreck.
I bet.
So I am a numbers lady, and so the entire time I stay in the pits for the most part. Now you could bicycle around, but I tend to crash those bikes and get in trouble, so I just stay in the pits. But I'm a numbers gal, so I stick around the pits, and I'm constantly seeing when they're supposed to come through, when should we gas, because they have to gas, just like a pit stop at
So
an
you do
Ashburn.
your work too.
Yes.
So tell me about this. You're a school teacher, kindergarten school teacher. Your husband's a professional racer. I guess he's gone during the week
So during the week, he's training all week.
at
So-
your house or away from here.
Well, it depends. He tries. So a lot of the younger guys
Uh-huh.
will kind of travel around to different places and things like that. But since he has a family, he sticks at home. And there's a couple of guys that do that. But for the most part, it's a young man's sport. So for him to be 34 years old and still doing this, I mean, they call him a veteran at what he does. But when you've been in it this long, you kind of know where to train, how to train, things like that. And he's kind of made connections. So every now and then he'll go out and maybe go to somebody else's place to train or something like that. But for the most part during the week, he's home. But from the months of January to March, he has to be in Florida the whole time
For 3 months.
for 3 months. So, and that has been ever since we've been together, since 2011.
Is that just because of the weather here during that time?
And everybody is down there. I mean, Supercross guys are down there. Motocross is similar to Supercross. They're kind of different. But all the Supercross guys are either out there training or in California.
So do you and the kids go there on the weekends, or does he come back home?
Sometimes on the weekends we do. It depends. Like if he can make it back home some, yes, but his body has to be at the optimal performing. I mean, it has to be performing at optimal, whatever. And so.
And it's dehydrating to fly too, they say.
And like during that time, I mean, everybody's sick. So
That's
when he
true.
flies, he gets sick. So typically, we'll go ahead and book our flights and things like that, and we'll go down 2-3 times a year, if not more. So my kids would call it, the place that they stayed at last year, it was like a ranch
Yeah.
in the middle of Florida, and we just call that our second home. Like Florida's our second home. And they called it the horsey house because it was, there's horse pictures everywhere, and they just love it. They would rather be there.
So does the
than
trainer
home.
stay in the house with y'all too?
Yes. His name is Jacob Fetty, and he and Jordan have become really good friends over the years.
Oh, no doubt.
Yes.
Just like we were talking about as a teacher, that you want to do well for your teacher when you truly love them. I'm sure he feels the exact same way about training. He
Absolutely.
wants to perform well for his trainer.
And they call each other all the time and give each other advice. And it's good to have somebody who pushes you but also cares for you, like a friend. So you can just have conversations about whatever and or say, hey, I'm not going to meet my goals today because this happened. And he's like, that's all right. Look, I'll rearrange it for you this week. So let's make some different changes.
That's awesome.
And whatever. Let's get that number where it needs to be.
He works with him.
And he also understands, of course, the whole science of training. Yes, you need your body to be great and optimal. Yeah, you need to be working out and all this stuff, but you also need to take care of your mental health.
Yes.
You need to be sleeping. You need to be resting. And a lot of these guys, they overtrain and they get something called Epstein-Barr. So Jordan has gotten really good at learning. You got to listen to your body. I mean, he says it all the time. And for all the new guys coming in too, you have to listen to your body. If you're wore out and you don't feel like you can get out today to go ride, just don't take a day off. You can do it tomorrow. And don't think that you have to go 100 miles today to train. That was the old way of training, and that's not the case. Most of your guys, even your supercross guys who and like you had mentioned before, Jordan is a champion in the GNCC world, and that is hard to do. Hard to do. Hard to stay healthy, and you have to stay consistent. You cannot overtrain. There's so many guys who, like I think he was last year's champion. Anyway, great people. Everybody we meet there are great, but they feel like they have to be better than everybody, or you get on social media.
That's part of the game of being new. You feel like you got to earn your spot, I'm sure. And
yes, and they will overtrain, and they'll get themselves sick and down, and you'll be down all year.
Oh, that's so tough.
Yeah.
Okay, so like we were talking about, you said the kids called it a horsey house. Tell us about your kids. Tell us about like you and Jordan starting your family, and when you decided, because I mean with his career, I'm sure it was a decision. Are we ready to start having children in a family with the way that he travels with work and stuff? So tell us about that.
So we always knew we wanted children, but we didn't know how many. I came from a big family, and he had 2 sisters, aside from himself, and but it was kind of hard to decide when, But our story is a God story. I mean, and I'll cry talking about it, but that's fine. This is our testimony. So we were married for about 5 years before we had children, and we noticed that we were having a hard time, getting pregnant, and couldn't figure out why. We'd been to the doctor several times, and they couldn't figure out anything.
And you're both in really good health.
Yes, and so and I meet a lot of young women my age, who are going through the same journey. And so, and I remember, and I watched your podcast with Hillary Froning, and I listened. She came to Life Church once and did like she talked to the women there, and I loved it. And
she's amazing.
I needed to hear that, and I feel like God gives us these journeys because. And these testimonies because we're meant to share them. And
also he puts certain people in our life and paths at certain times, I feel like. I mean, and you have to listen to it. I think that Hillary and I've talked about that. You've got to listen to that. We're friends because of that kind of stuff, and so that's how we connected.
I met a lady this week, which I knew, I've always known, and just randomly this conversation came up, and she's going through this right now, and it was like, and God just tells you, speak my name, tell them what I did for you. So here's our story, and I'm going to forget a bunch of it, but
that's okay.
I'll make it short and sweet too. So we were struggling to get pregnant, and so we were sent to I was on all kinds of medicine. I mean, trying this, trying that, testosterone.
That's so hard, isn't it?
And steroids and this. I mean, all these things that didn't make sense to me, but I was doing whatever. And so finally, I was sent to a clinic in Knoxville, and it was the Centers for Reproductive Medicine. And if you look it up on Google, they have like a 1 review, and it's like a 1 star, and that's not even true. This man is wonderful, and I always try to tell people to try him out. Anyway, his name is Dr. Doody. It's a fun name, so I'll never forget that. So Doody, Dr.
Okay.
Doody. So wonderful Christian man, and anyway, and he talked with us. We've had we traveled back and forth to Knoxville so many times. And I remember them putting me on progesterone because my progesterone was always so low and I couldn't figure out why. And no one ever told me that there was going to be any kind of side effects from it. And so I would take it, and I just felt, I mean, I couldn't walk straight. I was walking into walls. I mean, I felt like I was drunk. I mean, you just
felt medicated.
Very much so. And so I had to take 3 a day, though, and I was still teaching. So I had to get up early in the morning, like way before time to wake up. I had to take one, and then I had to go back to sleep. And then I had to get up and get ready for work, and then I had to take it when I got home.
Did they make you nauseous or like motion sick?
No, just you were just seeing double. Like you just couldn't
focus.
Yeah, I was literally, the first time I took it, I couldn't walk straight. So I did, but it was.
I can't focus now, and I don't have that, so I can't imagine.
I mean, I guess that mine was just so low, just getting an extra dose of it just kind of
mess with you.
Yeah. So anyway, we went through all that, and I still wasn't seeing any changes. So I forget what the procedure's called, but they did where the dye goes through your uterus and then into your fallopian tubes. It was. No one told me how painful that was. It was very painful. And any woman who's going through the infertility, she knows this. Everything that you're doing is painful, and you just feel so lonely. Like no one else is feeling what you're feeling. But that's a lie from the devil. You are not alone. There are so many women out there. Reach out to them. And your husband's with you, even though you feel like this is all on you.
I feel like it's hard for the husband too.
Yes. So we did all that, and they said, oh, after this, you should get pregnant. Well, we didn't. And then I went back, and he said, I think you may have endometriosis. Let's try that. And that was in my family. And so I did a laparoscopy, and he went in there and cleaned everything out. And he said, you should be fine now. You should get pregnant now. And no go. And so months and months and months went by, and different medicines, different things, and they checked my levels a lot, my hormone levels a lot. And I really believe women, we need to have our hormones checked often.
I know.
Because
even when you're young for a baseline, that's what I've been hearing lately. I actually just went to a nurse practitioner and I was like, can you just run my hormone levels? Because I want to know. I'm not having issues, but I don't even know what they are. I want to know what are my hormone levels at this age so I know what to compare it to. Because there's so much you read on that it affects so many other things.
You feel so off and you feel like something's wrong. You feel like you need this medication or this one. But truly, your hormones are just
and
off.
Men too.
Yes.
Same thing. Men, they say that men, it's something that's like that not talked about, but that men should have their hormone levels checked too because they can be off and affect their moods and the way they feel.
We don't have to feel like this.
Right.
We and I would just encourage that should be a practice we all do. So they would check it often, and my progesterone was always low. And so finally we went back, and he did an ultrasound, and I did 1 month of Clomid. And one thing that gets me, of course, I have twins, a boy and a girl, and is people will ask, well, are they natural? Are they natural? And I'm like, well, yes, they were natural. I mean, I grew up in my belly. What are you talking about? But we did do 1 month of Clomid, but twins run in his family and in my family. And the doctor said, you only have a 7% chance of having multiples. And I said, well, okay, well, let's do it. So we did an ultrasound, and he saw 4 eggs. And so, but he said, there's only one that's viable. That's going to be, there's only one egg that's mature enough.
Right.
And so we were like, okay. And he said, I would encourage you to come back for an IUI tomorrow. And so an IUI is where his sperm is put into your into
your egg.
Yes.
Oh, they go ahead and put it in exactly into the egg.
No, that's IVF is where it's sent off to like it's like more scientific, I guess.
Okay.
Where the egg and the sperm is put together, and then
they insert it.
It's put in you.
Okay.
An IUI is where his sperm is just
placed right where they want it.
Yes, where they want it. And so after that, and I'll tell you, women who have that hurts too. I mean, they don't talk about it. Nobody talks about it. And you are poked and prodded all the time, but that's just what you do to get your babies. And I can remember the entire time we were infertile. The song, we were going through this journey, the song Waymaker was like big back in the day. And so every time we would sing it, I would sing, even when I don't see it, you're working. Lord, I know. And I would, with faith, he will deliver. He will give us babies. I'm going to be a great mom. He's going to be a great dad. God will fulfill this. And you have to have that faith. You have to say, God will, God will, God will.
We don't know how.
We don't know how, but he will. Whether it be...
There's different roads to motherhood, like we've talked about in other podcasts, but you right.
Yes. Whether it be through adoption or whether it be through,
fertility clinics,
whatever it may be, He will provide, and He is faithful, and He does love you. And everybody's journey is different because He has something different for everybody else. You know what I mean? Everybody's story will be different because he before you were even built in your own mother's womb, He already had your story planned out.
Yes.
And so we have to, just be willing to accept what joys He has for us.
And patient.
Yes.
It's hard for us to be patient.
So we did the IUI, and it worked.
That's awesome.
And
First time.
And
Doesn't it kind of make you wish that you're like, could we not have just done this years ago?
I know, yes, absolutely, amen. But what's funny about this whole story is my grandmother had been real sick, in and out of the hospital, and different things had been going on, and she'd been having dreams that we were going to have. She didn't know we were having troubles.
Okay.
And she said, "You're going to have 2 babies. It's going to be a boy and a girl, and they're going to be twins. They're going to be blonde headed, and the little girl's going to have curly blonde hair." And I said, "Grandma, you're crazy. You're crazy." And so
You just thought she literally was
yes,
crazy.
I thought you're crazy, and come to find out, we were. That's exactly what happened. Except for the little girl doesn't have curly blonde hair, but that's exactly what
She's
happened.
got blonde hair.
Yes, they both have blonde hair, boy and a girl, and it's exactly. It's almost like
they
the
are the
Lord gave her
cutest.
that vision, So
She wasn't around when they were born.
She is still living, but she's bedridden, so she doesn't get to interact with them the way that she would have wanted to. But I guess the Lord just gave her those dreams. I don't know, those visions. I don't know.
Speaking of those kids, those of you listening, and I know y'all are all over the world, and I talk about my little town. I love all the time my little Hallmark town. Mary Heather was born and raised there too, and our fair was last week, and that's a big deal in a small town, is it
Yes,
not?
it is. We were there almost every night.
Yeah, it's a big deal in a small town. It's a part of a core that raises you.
Yes.
And your kids looked so cute. They were adorable.
Thank you very much.
What is it they call that when they like you dress up your horse or your?
So it's called tacky turnout.
Okay.
So this was Ella wanted. So my kids are totally different. Jet is my little boy, and he likes all things dirt bike, obviously.
Like Daddy.
Yeah, just like Daddy. He wants to be just like him. Last night, his daddy asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he said, "You, Daddy."
That's just sweet.
So
My 17-year-old still says that about his dad,
Yes.
so I don't know that it'll change.
yes, and so all things dirt bike. So he did the Stasic race and loves it and can't stand it when he doesn't win. And my little girl, she loves animals to the core. Like she loves her chickens, she loves her goats.
Were
she
you
loves,
like that?
Yes, I was. But she wanted a pony for Christmas. So all little girls want a pony for Christmas. And you know what? Her daddy got her a pony for Christmas. And thankfully, my mother-in-law knows a lot about horses, and so does my sister. And then Carly Nard knows a lot about. So she did the tacky turnout with her pony.
It was so cute.
And they dressed up as Little Red Riding Hood and the Granny.
It was
the
so
wolf.
cute. Surely she won.
And she won.
Okay,
I know.
I didn't know if she won. I just saw pictures and I was like, she was the cutest. She just looks like a mini version of you on the pony.
She's the sweet, and she has the sweetest little soul. She does.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so
She
awesome.
does.
Okay, tell us about these twins being born.
Okay, so when they were born,
The pregnancy throughout went okay.
the pregnancy was great. Everything was fine. We went to a high-risk doctor, and we went, and I'll tell this story about how we knew they were a boy and girl. I just knew it was two
Okay.
boys. But it was during COVID times. You know, no
Yeah.
one could really go in there with you to the to get your ultrasound done at the time. And so the lady did my ultrasound at 15 weeks. And I just closed my eyes because I said, I don't want to know. My husband's down in Florida. He was down
Right.
there. And so I had to do a lot of this without him. And I said, I want to know together. I said, so put it in an envelope and we'll go down to Florida and I'll come down to visit him and we'll open it together. And my mama and my sisters about died because they said, let me just open it. I won't tell you, I promise. And I said, you cannot see it before my husband does. He has to see it first. So we went down to Disney, one of my favorite places.
It is.
And I handed the envelope to the ladies with the balloons. And I came back at a certain time, and we had a lady film it, and they brought us a pink and a blue balloon, and we were just over the moon, joy. And so when they
You
were
knew twins, you just didn't know. You thought it was
we
the two
didn't
boys.
know it was I thought it was gonna be two boys because I thought, well, gosh, I'm not that sick. You know, the thing is, if you're sick, you're going to have a girl, you know, and who knows?
I was the opposite. I was sick with a boy. My first one, LG worked all the time. We were trying to get our business going. And so, I mean, it was, you saw a patient at midnight if they want to come see you. I mean, we practically lived in the dental office, and I was pregnant with our first child. We had a miscarriage before. We had trouble. So it was high risk doctor also.
Yes.
And so my grandmother's my hero. And she and my grandpa had taken me for my high risk appointment that time in Nashville. And the person was doing the ultrasound, and I was talking to Granny. It was so early, I didn't even think they could find out. I mean, I didn't even know then. I don't know. I can't remember now. I mean, it would have been 18 years ago now, but I was really early, and I was just talking to my granny, and she turned the screen around, the monitor for me to see it, and typed BOY.
Oh, this is green.
And it was green. It was my firstborn green. And my granny was sitting there with me, and Granny just looked at me. And I was like, oh, no, Granny. I started to cry. And I said, LG he's not here. Like, we didn't know we were finding out. And so I did balloons too, but I just sent 5 blue balloons to the dental office. And,
that is so precious.
And it threw him off. But he's the 5th. He's LG Puckett the 5th. And so it actually took a lot of pressure off of me, because I knew I had to continue the name and to know I could go ahead and do it. But he was over the moon. He wanted a boy so bad. And I knew right then I was going to get pregnant again as quick as I could, so I could get a girl.
And you have the most precious babies.
Thank you.
All 3 of your babies are just beautiful, and they're so sweet. And I've not got to spend a whole lot of time with them.
Thank you so much.
Of course, in the school systems and things like that. But they are just, anytime I see them, they're so respectful. They're so sweet and gentle. So
they are. I hope they are. They're good babies. They're such a gift to me. I'm so thankful
tell they're raised good.
That
so
God
you've done
let
well.
me be their mama. I tell them that all the time. I say I'm sorry to my kids all the time too, because I'm like, it's my first go around, guys. I mean, this is my first time raising a kid, a boy at 17. It's my first time raising a girl at 13. You know, just show me some grace. I'm doing the best I can. And so, but it's such a gift to be their mom. You know that feeling.
Amen. I know. I'll cry thinking about it.
Yeah, it's just such a gift.
I mean, sometimes you just want to scream, because you're like, please stop saying my name. But then you're
going to get that. You're in that phase right now.
Yes.
When you get to my phase, sweetheart, and it's in the blink of an eye, you love to hear them say your name.
It's already happening so fast.
Yeah, it will.
I mean, there was a time where I could hold them both, and now it's like, you can't do that.
And they were, you're like, she's the size of a pencil. She's the smallest person. And I know when they were little, you just get those 2 kids and just go. You do everything. Just you and the twins. Yes. I'm like, it was so amazing.
Yes. Well, at 26 weeks, I was on bed rest because we went into labor.
Okay.
And so I couldn't get off the couch, and I did exactly what I was supposed to do.
You do anything to make sure it works.
After they were born, I thought, Lord, I got to get out of here. You know? So we did our best. But they were born at almost 35 weeks.
Okay. Which is really good for twins.
Yes, very good for twins. And had they had been born like a day before, we would have had to go to NICU somewhere.
Okay.
So when they were born, my mom was in California, and she said, do not have those babies while I'm out of town. And I said, I will do my best, but I don't think I can hold them in, you know. And so they were born while she was out of town. And Ella was first. She was baby A. And my doctor had left because she thought it was going to take a while. So she had left, and Ella was coming. And thankfully, I had Melissa Nard there, and many, many others, nurses there. I think there was like 15 of them in there. But her face just resonates with me.
You delivered locally in our town.
At Livingston. Let me tell you something. Those nurses, doctors there, wonderful.
Well, people travel. They travel from other counties to our little county for the OB department.
I cannot say enough for Lindy. Well, not Lindy Mason now, Lindy Lynn. I cannot say enough good things about her or the nurses and doctors that were there at Livingston Regional Hospital. They were wonderful. I mean, they saved my baby girl's life. So Ella was born, and Melissa Nard, I mean, she pretty much delivered her. And she wasn't breathing. And so they had to do, I think Jet was trying to kick her out, to be honest. He's upset about,
at least that's what you're going to tell him anyway.
Yes, still to this day, he's upset about not being first, about anything.
Really?
Yeah, about everything, he has to be first. So, but they had lost, they had probed her. So, so they, on her head where they could get her, her heart, you know, beating all these things.
Monitors.
Yes. And so they weren't reading anymore, and they kicked my whole family out, and all these nurses just filled the room, and doctors filled the room, and so she was delivered, and they took her onto the nursery and did compressions. There was like a
resuscitation team.
Yes,
So they called code on her.
Yes, all these things, and
at this point, are you still trying to deliver the second?
Well, the doctor still my doctor was still not there, the doctor that was deliver. And so Melissa held him in place. I mean, they have to, because if not, he will. If you have twins, a lot of times they'll just do a C-section, because if not, if you deliver naturally or not C-section, the second baby will flip, and then you'll have to do a C-section.
Oh.
So yes,
I did not know that.
Yes. So they took her on, and we sang Waymaker the whole time in there. Even when I don't see it, you're working, because Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. And so we just sang that, and I just knew the Lord was just going to take care of her. I knew that she was going to be fine. And who's the ER doctor? I can't remember his name, but he's wonderful. But he came in, he said, "We got a healthy baby girl. She's fine. She's fine." And so then we waited for for Lindy to come in, and she delivered Jet, and Jet was fine. So
awesome.
I stayed a few extra days in the hospital because I had really bad headaches, and we couldn't figure out why. And they said I had from my epidural, I guess,
Like
a spinal leak.
Mm-hmm.
And it was unbearable. I can remember I felt so bad because I couldn't even take care of my own babies. And people were coming in and visiting, and I didn't even know who was in the room.
I did that with the first.
So bad. It was so bad.
You couldn't sit up to nurse.
No, you couldn't do anything.
I would sit up to nurse, and I would vomit to the side
Yes.
because you had such a migraine.
It was horrible. So, and so they did a spinal
Tap.
Okay, is it spinal tap, spinal block, something? They take the blood out of your arm, and then they have an anesthesiologist come in, and they put the blood up in your spine so that it will stop the leak.
Right.
And it was extremely painful. But it had to be done. And so days went by, and I was still so sick, and we couldn't figure out why, because that should have worked, and it didn't. So they ended up rushing me to the ER at Cookeville, and they did a CT, and the nurse came back and said, "You have a block in your brain, some kind of blockage in your brain." And so my husband just hit his knees right there and prayed. My family prayed, and we just, "Lord, please just take this away." And it was the worst time of my life, because I just had these babies. This is all I'd ever wanted. And
At this point, they're what, like 5 days old?
Yes. So they admitted me to the hospital, and we just prayed and prayed and prayed for a miracle. And
At this point, did they take you to Nashville?
no, they did an MRI because they wanted to see. So they did an MRI, and it came back nothing. And it really wasn't long after that my headache started to ease. And I really, truly believe it was the power of prayer. I mean, spinal leak, was it a block? I have no idea.
Honestly, you
all
don't
I
care.
know is that the Lord intervened, and it wasn't long after that everything just started to ease and melt away. And I mean, it's a God thing.
Well, that's why we ask for prayer.
Yes.
Like, if you don't truly believe that there's
power.
power in it, why
power
would
in
we
prayer.
ask for it? And there's power in numbers too, and
The Lord
everyone
just wants
praying.
to hear from us. He just wants to hear from us.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, no, your story and those precious little babies is such a God thing.
we definitely have a testimony, and he is so faithful, and he loves his children. So
We can't go off air without you explaining. So how you do all you do. How do you teach school with all these little kids all day, and then load your kids up and make all these races during race weekends?
honestly,
Do you have like an RV that y'all travel in, or do you fly to all these?
okay, so we take a camper, which is a tow behind camper. My husband loves to collect vehicles. I don't know, it's just a thing. So sometimes we take a truck that is teeny tiny on the inside, and they are so good at traveling. They've just learned it.
Yeah, well, they grew up doing it.
Sometimes we take a van that's a moto van, and you can kind of move around in it a little bit better, and we tow the camper behind. And then we have an RV that's his parents', but it has been in the shop for forever. So we took a couple trips in the RV, which was fabulous.
Yeah.
But we've only done a few of those. So honestly, I teach throughout the week. I give my very best there, and I go home. And Thursday night, throughout the week, you're preparing. What do I need to pack on Monday? What do I need to pack on Tuesday? What do I need to pack on Wednesday? So that Thursday night, we're ready to go. So we have to roll out Thursday night and be ready to go. And so I typically have a sub on Fridays, every other Friday. And then we're racing that whole weekend. And then sometimes we don't get home till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. But I'm back on Monday morning ready to go.
I don't know how you do it all.
So,
and there will be a lot of people listening to this that's all into GNCC racing.
Yes.
I'm learning this. I'm gonna see if I can't make the Dunlap one. That's listening that always kind of wonders. And the people who follow him, the most precious thing is like immediately is his kids. He gets his kids immediately when that race's over, and if he wins, they're the ones right there. It is so sweet in the pictures and stuff.
I will say, now, they are opposites, and she doesn't care to be social face-to-face. But when it comes to that podium, she does not want to be seen or heard, but he does. So when he comes through,
he's just preparing for when he's going to win them.
He is raced 3 hours straight. It is the most brutal thing on your body that you can possibly do. And he will say, Daddy, do I get to be on that podium? Why didn't you get to be on that podium? Why do I not get to be on the podium? Do I get to be on the podium?
The whole time he knows if he loses, his son's going to be disappointed in him.
Absolutely. So he's like, son, sorry, honey, I don't get to be on it today. And he'll say, well, why not? And I'm like, honey, just give him a minute, okay? Let Daddy rest for just a minute. We'll talk about it later. So, but they love it. It is just such a family environment. I mean, we have such a family there at the GNCCs. They have friends that they play with. I mean,
that's so sweet.
We just love
the
it.
memories they're getting to grow up with. Like
yes.
that, not many kids do that. That's just so cool that they're going to get to grow up like that.
Easy. It is not easy going and doing, but we love it, and that's just what we, that's our life, and that's what we do. And Jordan will say, I mean, as you get older, it gets harder to do, but one of the things that means the most to him is having his family there. He wants to share that with his kids, and he wants to have those memories with all of us together. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite things about these races is being in I would rather have a teeny tiny little bitty camper where we can barely move in it because we have to be together. I mean, I love that. I love camping out, even if it's a rainy weekend and we can't get out
that's
or
so
do anything.
Sweet.
I love to be together.
And honestly, coming from someone that's got older children, this is the perfect age for that. It really is. It keeps them right there with you. I mean, even if you're just like playing a puzzle or you're just doing little things, it's like perfect time. And that won't be as easy when they're 17 and they're bigger than their dad, you know? And so right now is like the perfect age for that. Just keep embracing it and take all the pictures you can.
Amen.
And just, it's awesome that you get to do that with
Amen. It is
all of y'all together.
It is a blessing.
And he's doing what his dream was growing up, just like it's Jet's dream now. So you'll probably be traveling one day just in a bigger RV and helping with the grandkids.
Hopefully, maybe one day. I love it. And listen, traveling, we don't mind to travel. We will travel. The kids will say, the big thing right now is, I love you to here and back, or I love you to
so sweet.
Here and back. And so Ella will say, I love you to Florida and back. And Jet will say, oh, yeah, well, I love you to Texas and back. Or I love you to the race.
Think of all the places these kids get to go that a lot of kids have never been at such a young age.
Things, yes. So, and it's just, I mean, they do so good traveling. They do.
You also learn, with me, it came with age, but you just learn you don't really have to have all the things you think you have to have. So when it comes to packing, it can be really simple. When it comes to space, it can be simple. You think you need more than you really do. And you already know that at a younger age than I did. And that's really a blessing to know that.
The most important thing is being together. I mean, you really don't have to have, the latest gadgets, this and that, whatever. I mean, you can come up with games in the car, and it's just as fun. I mean, it's hard sometimes because you're like, gosh, I want to break it. I need to just, I want to
car ride is a lot of times our memory that we hang on to more than the trip we were going to.
Absolutely.
And it was mine as a child, and it's mine now as a parent. And so
conversations that you have.
Yes.
I mean, there's so
we don't allow a TV in the car. Like we don't watch a show in there because of the conversations that you get to have.
And sometimes they're hard conversations, and sometimes they're silly conversations, but they never forget it, and you don't either. I mean, sometimes you may forget some things because our life is so busy and we're moving so fast, but they don't forget it.
I can't tell you the times I did it Sunday that we'll be going down the road. We went to eat Sunday for my mother-in-law's birthday after church, and drove about 30 minutes away, and so we were in the car for an hour as a family. And I remember looking over at my husband just Sunday and saying, I love this phase. But I've said that now for, ever since we got married, honestly. But just to soak it in, just know I'm in the moment right now, and this is fun, or when they say something cute and you're just like, this is what it's all about.
I wish so badly, I'll tell you this, I'm not good at baby books.
I'm not either.
I'm just not.
None of my kids have a baby book.
I'm not. But I tell you something I wish I was better at, and that's journaling. Like just journaling the random things that happen throughout the day, or something that they said, or whatever, or where we're at in our phase in life. Just journaling different things. We went to this race this weekend, and this is what happened. Or just stories about them that, or I'm sitting here right now and watching you sleep, and this is what I'm thinking right now.
I wish I did more of it, too.
Good at that.
I'll tell you what I did start doing as the kids were growing up is I write in my Bible. When I'm doing like notes for myself, I write with intentions of my children to read it. So I'm writing to them in my Bible. And I also, in my cookbooks, I write, like I date it, and I'll say, made this tonight, changed this way, did this, and I make little notes on it. Can't wait for you to serve this. Like I leave them little notes around the cookbook, and I leave it in my Bible. I don't have actual just a journal to itself. That's kind of just the things I've wrote in. But I'm the same way with you. I wish I had wrote more. Also with dates, my mother and I have talked about this a lot lately about I can't even remember what was it Granny did have and how old was she when she had that. Yes. And as you get older, health things, they need to know these things for different situations. And I can't remember. I'm like,
and you think about it like, technology is just everywhere, and there's so much information out there, but what's real and what's not, and we're in this weird, I don't know, part of history where it's like, well, what did happen and what did not, that's coming up here and there.
Trust, you don't have trouble trusting.
You have no idea, but what you would trust is what your granny wrote to you.
Oh.
Or in what's in the Bible. I mean, what's in the Bible is true, or what your granny wrote to you. That's what really happened, during those times or whatever.
And the older you get, the more you treasure that. Yes. Like, I love anything I see that was handwritten.
Me too.
Thing that I get to hang on to. It's so tangible to me. Like I've got little notes framed that just Granny would have. It was actually the tags hooked onto the gift bags, and the gift bag was nothing. I don't know if she got it at the Dollar General. It didn't matter to me. It was her signature when she wrote on it, and I ripped those things off and put it in little drawers, and that just means so much to me now.
And so many of us are so good at taking pictures. I mean, we have we carry around a camera with us all over the place, and I love making the books from Shutterfly or wherever, but when I go back and look at those, I think my most favorite ones are the ones I've written in, whether it be the silly things or whatever, or in this picture, Jet is blah, 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 and I remember you said this to Mickey Mouse, or whatever, because I don't remember those things.
And the kids will love reading it when they're older, too.
Yes, and the cookbook thing I like a lot. I may have to try that one. I've not tried that one. So.
Yeah, that's so sweet that you do that and write all the little notes and stuff to them. It is. It's cherished time. So fun.
Each day, they're getting a day older every single day, and you never get it back, so you just need to enjoy it.
I know, but it is.
As best we can, but sometimes it's hard.
And it is fun. It's going to be fun. Every phase is. Like, everybody's like, are you not sad they're getting older? I'm not. I love it. I love this phase. I love seeing them get to achieve their goals. I wouldn't want to go back to being 13. I wouldn't want to go back to being 17. And so I'm happy for them to get to be where I'm at one day, and have the love of their life and have their family and get to enjoy motherhood. And so, I mean, all the phases, I think we just embrace them and take them as the Lord blesses us with them.
Amen.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Conversation. I knew you were going to be so much fun to have.
I was nervous about it just a little bit.
No, nothing to be nervous about. Thank you so much.
Thank you.